Hello, my name is Maya Shiplick, and I'd like to present my summary of The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. The book starts out with an unnamed narrator. As one continues to read our story, it becomes clear that the narrator is death itself. Death describes in certain colorful ways his methods by which he arrives. Of course, is to take someone's life, but they're never the same. The main character is Liesel Meminger. In order to protect her children from the Nazis, Liesel's mother gives Liesel and her brother up to foster parents. On the way to the Hubermans, Liesel's new foster parents, her brother dies from some illness. He is hastily buried, and Liesel is hurriedly placed with the Hubermans. As a side historical note, Liesel is not Jewish, but rather her natural parents were communists, which were considered dangerous dissenters to the Nazi regime coming to power, and therefore they were probably placed in Nazi camps and detained there indefinitely, if not simply shot and killed. Liesel arrives at the Hubermans, and Hans Huberman almost immediately bonds with Liesel. Rosa Huberman, though rough and tough, loves Liesel. At this point, we meet our antagonist to Liesel, Rudi Steiner. He likes Liesel and is always trying to snatch a kiss from her. She will have nothing to do with that foolishness. Liesel's weakness lies in her illiteracy. She cannot read. However, she begins to develop the ability to read with the help of her foster father, Hans. Together, every night, they read a book Liesel picked up from the ground at the cemetery when they were burying her brother. The book was called The Grave Digger's Handbook. Hans Huberman begins to read the book to her. He also helps her begin to understand the basics of reading, starting with the alphabet and the letters' phonetic pronunciation. A funny scene occurs sometime later at school when Liesel is called upon to read in front of the class, but still really cannot read. She takes the book that her teacher hands her, and Liesel pretends to read, from memory, reciting a passage from the Grave Digger's Handbook. Her classmates begin laughing, and the teacher, Sister Maria, immediately intervenes. As the title suggests, as Liesel develops the ability to read, so too does her desire for books. In a touching scene at Christmas, Hans gives Liesel what was considered two very extravagant gifts: 2 books. He gives Liesel Faust the Dog and The Lighthouse. She reads them over and over each time, as if it were the first. A place where she finds an enormous stash of books is from the personal library of the town's mayor's wife, Frau Hermann. Liesel and Rudi together take pleasure breaking in, though the windows were always left open as if on purpose, and stealing a book. We are then introduced to Max Vanderberg. He is a Jewish young man taken in by the Hubermans to be hidden from the Nazi jackboots as World War II is getting underway, and Hitler is systematically and continuously rounding up Jews and placing them in infamous concentration camps around Germany. Liesel befriends Max, visiting him often and reading together in the Hubermans' basement. Max is smitten with Liesel's kindness and intense interest in reading. Through cartoon illustration, Zusak has Max white out the pages of Hitler's Mein Kampf. He then creates his own story in the book, which he eventually presents to Liesel. Max, a bit of time later, does not have to quickly escape as Nazis come around checking people's homes that may be hiding Jews. Liesel later sees Max being marched through their town after he consequently had been caught. Liesel continues to steal books from Frau Hermann, even to the point that Frau Hermann has recognized that Liesel is the one stealing books. Frau Hermann leaves things out for Liesel, like treats and cookies. Frau Hermann even leaves the window open for Liesel to come and go and take books as she pleases. At one point, Frau Hermann gives Liesel a journal for writing her thoughts, in which Liesel does. That journal becomes The Book Thief. The story ends with a massive bombing of the town of Mulching, whereby Hans, Rosa, Rudy, and many, many people in the town were killed. Liesel survives, the Ally armies win, Germany is liberated, and Liesel reunites with the now freed Max. The story ends with Liesel being at the end of her life, and Death comes to visit her and take her soul. Death gives Liesel her book that she had been compiling and journaling, The Book Thief, and that she had lost in the confusion of the bombing. Liesel is now happy unto death. This book, personally, is not something which I would gravitate. It is in the genre of historical fiction. I did not enjoy reading it and found the story to be very ponderous. If one enjoys history mixed with fiction, I would guess that this book would fit the bill. However, this book is definitely for upper-level high school students and up. I certainly would not recommend it for middle school and would not incorporate it into any English literature curriculum until a student has had some type of World War course that confers World War II.